never fail, you're steadfast. Your promises are true, you're faithful. You cover all my sins with forgiveness. My eyes have seen your ways, your goodness. In love and faithfulness to me, we behold your glory. Righteousness and peace kiss heavens all around us. Spring up, oh well, living water rise within us. Spring up, oh well, Holy Spirit deep within.
Every day in Kenya, I remember just getting up and taking a matatu, which is a bus ride, cram-packed full of Africans and people hanging out of the side while the door was just flapping open, down to Eldoret, Kenya, where we just walked for a mile or so till we finally reached Agape Baptist Church, where we were every day, and we were able to just like see the light on the children's faces and just be able to just swing them around or let them play with our hair and braid it, or just like tackle us and play soccer with them, and they always won, and they're just so fast. So we were able to just like have a good time with them every day, and it didn't even feel like ministry. It was just like us pouring into the lives of like the children of the next generation, and just God had us to pioneer a new ministry in Agape Baptist Church, so that was us. That was part of us pioneering, was just like pouring into the lives of the children and being able to just see them come alive when we got to play with them.
While in Kenya, we also experienced and learned more about what spiritual warfare is. We've had, well, at first we were just getting attacked, and our team struggled to find like purpose and such. And then we learned of like the spirit of over lands, and the one in Kenya is that of like striving but for no purpose, doing the same thing routinely and continuing doing the same thing over and over again. So we kind of incorporated our ministry into that. And as soon as we found that and started fighting against that, we just saw another reality of what warfare is. With the sudden like appearance of death's face as a person was pulled out of the gutter.
So what happened the day after you found the dead man being pulled out of the ditch?
We went back. We showed like the truth of the gospel and the redemptive power of the gospel through an act of the Good Samaritan right at the spot where that person died. We showed Kenya, which is so accustomed to death that it just ignores and takes pictures and laughs at it. And we showed the reality of what the Good Samaritan would have done. We showed the people there that when a person is dying on the streets, we don't just walk by and continue on our day. We go and help, because that's what we would want if we were dying on the streets. That man was someone's son. It could have been also someone's father or someone's brother. So we would not ignore that. So we showed the people the next day that Christians don't ignore that.
We'll see your goodness in the land of the living. You give me joy down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul. 'Cause you give me joy down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul. Yeah, 'cause you give me joy down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul. You give me joy down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul.
the transition from Kenya to Tanzania was so different that we could feel the difference. It was so much more laid back. It just presented so much more freedom, and that was including even in the ministries that we did. When we got to Tanzania, our contact Ryan picked us up, and we stayed with him and his family in a back house that they had on their property. They've been missionaries in Tanzania for like 7 years. They're originally from California, and we got to be involved in several of the different things that they had in Tanzania. We got to go to this place called Courage Center, and it was focused with giving young women the trade of tailoring. And these women were so fun to be with, and I feel like the girls kind of stayed with them mainly, and the boys kind of got to do door to door, and so we got to do like evangelism on the street and like even I guess evangelism with these girls, and it was fun because this area was very like Muslim populated, so it was neat that we each the boys and the girls on our team got to do different things.
Never been so free, caught in your love for me. Never felt more secure, knowing your heart, Lord.
So the last week we got to go to a village called Kibayoni, and it wasn't really necessarily a village, as I found out. It's more like a really small town. Electricity goes out quite often. There's not much to do. Mostly people just sit there at their little shops and sell things all day. The awesome things we got to do was door to door. We got to pray for a widow that we found, and we didn't even know she was a widow until one of us got a word of knowledge from God and just like asked her, "Hey, are you a widow?" And she responded yes, which was like super cool because we were like, "What? We heard God's voice." And then so we offered to buy her some food because she had been struggling. She shared with us that she was worried where the next food was going to come from for her grandchildren that she was taking care of. So we were able to buy her like 2 months supply of food, like beans and rice and sugar, flour, toothpaste, soap, toothbrushes, like just tons of amazing blessings that we were able to give to her. So that was like super awesome, especially being part of the Justice School. We also got to do a church service that week as well. Each of us gave an encouraging word, and just throughout that church service I really started to come alive and see each of the people in the church as an individual person, really, instead of like ministry opportunities. I started to look at the people and really see their faces as individuals and realize that they have their own lives there and that they joke around with each other. They have worship practice and they joke around like with mistakes that each other make, and it was just super cool to see their own personalities and their individual traits come alive and see them as individual people that God loves just as much as He loves me.
Desert so blue in the light of your love, valleys make room for the river of God.
Honestly, it was like learning how much God loves me as a father, and that like just the revelation that He like picked me up like from a place of like just being so like far from Him and like striving and not really like knowing my identity and like trying to gain His approval and His love just by like what I did. Like I wasn't really trying to like earn like righteousness or holiness because like I knew that I already had that, but I found out that I was striving to gain His approval or to get Him to look at me and to just show me like how much He loves me, and I thought that by like going out and ministering to people that I could get His attention in a weird way. But then like I learned that like I literally don't have to do anything. Like I can just like right here in this moment He's completely in love with me, and whether or not I'm like doing His will or working for Him, like He completely loves me 100%.